What's up everyone, welcome back to another video with the Millennial Finance. I've been spending some time in the crypto space recently. The two big applications that I've been using it for is DeFi and NFTs. We ran a poll on our Instagram to ask you guys which one do you guys want to see first. With 59% of you voting for decentralized finance, we'll be going through it today. If you haven't yet, drop us a follow on our Instagram. We do post on our stories and have some posts there as well. You can interact and help us shape the future of our content. By the way, if you don't have a crypto wallet or you don't understand how they work, then I highly recommend that you watch our video on it because this is essential for you to participate in decentralized finance. Also, if you want to buy and sell crypto, then check out Luno or Huobi. We'll leave the links down in the description below. Anyway, let's get started. Cha-ching! So first things first, what is DeFi or decentralized finance? So DeFi is an emerging financial technology that helps us decentralize our finances through the use of ledgers and blockchains similar to that of what we do with cryptocurrencies. As the name implies, DeFi removes the control that centralized institutions like banks have on our money. In traditional finance, you'll go to the bank, provide some document, maybe even provide some collateral, they'll assess you, and at the end of the day, they will decide whether they're going to approve your loan or not. In DeFi, you can go to any protocol out there that has this available, and you can take out a loan with a counterparty by putting up some collateral. There's no middleman other than the protocol itself, and anyone can take out a loan without even have to reveal any identity about yourself. This makes it so that everyone is treated equally, and as long as you meet the requirements, you can take out a loan. Of course, you can't just take a loan and run away with the money because all loans in DeFi are done in a way that you're over-collateralized, but I won't go so deep into that because that's a story for another day. While there may be many applications for DeFi, the one that most individuals like us participate in is called yield farming. And that will be the main topic of today's video. Basically, what we want to do is extract the maximum yield while taking on the least amount of risk possible. With many banks and fixed deposits out there giving very low interest rates, especially in countries like the US, then it only makes sense that people are looking for alternatives to work their money. So there'll be three different methods that I'll be covering today, which is staking, lending, and providing liquidity. I'll go through some examples, I'll be sharing my screen, going through it with you guys so that you guys understand exactly what is going on. And let's get started with the first one, which is probably the most straightforward and popular one, being staking. Staking is essentially putting your crypto to work by committing it to support a blockchain or confirming transactions. Unlike Bitcoin and Ethereum, where there are miners out there who help confirm transactions and blocks, many cryptos these days use a proof of stake concept, meaning they need stakers. It's a much more efficient way to run things, which is why nearly all crypto is doing this right now, and even Ethereum will switch from a proof of work concept to a proof of stake concept in Ethereum 2.0. And I'll show you guys exactly how to do this with Huobi because we can't do it with Luno. So let's get to the screen share. So this is the main page for Huobi Global. I've already logged into my account and let's get straight to staking. So first of all, to stake, you will have to own the cryptocurrency, of course. There is a staking section up here, but I recommend using Huobi Yearn because it does give much better yields. So you click on that and you can see all the options that Huobi has available. So if you click on the featured list, there will be a lot of tokens that give very high APYs, like you can see a GMEE 500%, PHCR 300%. I would say that usually the higher the yield, the more volatile the crypto. So I highly recommend that you only stake crypto that you don't mind owning anyway, and you shouldn't be buying a token like GMEE just to get the 500% returns because I would say that most of the times it won't work out. So let me show you guys an example. I'll go on to special recommendations and you can see all these options here. They are all stable coins, which are great. And then there's Shiba, there's Doge, and then there's Matic. So all you have to do is you will click deposit. So let's say USDT, deposit now, select your amount, go next, and you will be staking immediately and you start earning on your crypto. Another thing I would say is take a look at this lock-in term. Basically what it is for 14 days, 90 days, or 30 days, you cannot withdraw your crypto. So make sure you only put down crypto that you know you won't need in the near term. Another option if you want is to put it into flexible staking options like this, which means you can withdraw at any time, but usually they will give low returns. So you can see here, flexible 5%, 14 days 5.5, and the higher we go in terms of number of days, the higher the yield that we will get. So if you own the popular cryptocurrencies like Matic, Doge, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Ripple, or Cardano, all of this can be staked on Huobi itself, But for those of you who don't want to use an exchange, there is another way. Basically, let's say you own Solana. So I have my Solana wallet loaded here. So I have two options. Either I stake with Huobi and leave my Solana there, or I move it to a wallet, which I did have a video on. So let's say in this example, I have 6.3 Solana. I can just click it here. The staking option will load. I can click it here, choose your validator, and basically you can also stake directly with Phantom. So Phantom is the wallet for Solana. It's the equivalent of MetaMask for Ethereum. So these are the two ways that you can start staking your cryptocurrency. It's very straightforward and it does give pretty good returns. But like I said, only stake crypto that you don't mind owning anyway. So that's it for staking. It's pretty straightforward, and yeah, most of you should be able to do it. The second option for decentralized finance is a bit more interesting, and it's called lending. As I mentioned earlier, you can lend cryptos to others in exchange for a certain percentage. Most of the times, this lending will be done in stable coins because people will need this either USDT or USDC to buy more crypto, or maybe have some money to pay in their real life stuff. So if you're worried that, if I lend my money, what if the guy doesn't pay it back, then don't worry about losing your money, because like I said, lending in cryptocurrency is over-collateralized. So how this works is that, let's say someone wants to borrow $500 worth of USDT, they'll have to put down $1,000 worth of another crypto as collateral. People do this for many reasons, but one of the more popular ones is because, let's say I own Ethereum, I need cash right now, but I don't want to sell my Ethereum because I still think it will go up in the future, so I just need a short-term loan to pay some bills, and I could use the lending features to do this. So because I put down $1,000 in Ethereum to take a $500 loan, the lender is completely safe, and if the value of Ethereum drops below a certain amount, the platform will automatically sell the Ethereum for USDT and return it back to the lender. So as a lender, you are completely, or I wouldn't say completely, but you're very safe from these kind of people sort of running away from money. The only risk would be the standard smart contract or hacks. Without scaring you guys too much, let's show you some examples as well. And again, I will go to share my screen. The next one that I want to show you guys for lending is this platform called Yearn.finance. They have two networks, being Ethereum and Phantom, but I don't use Ethereum because of course the gas fees are too high, so I only use Phantom. Basically, you go to the Yearn bank here. You can see all of this crypto that you can lend out for a certain percentage, or if you want to borrow it, this is how much you'll be paying per year. So usually what people do is they will look for stable coins. USDT is giving you 0.52% right now, which is pretty low. Let's say switch to the Phantom network. And yes, you can see UST, DAI, FUSDT, these are all stable coins and they're giving out 4-5% in yields for lending your money. Separate from lending and borrowing, Yearn also has this thing called vaults, and basically they help you get the most yields that you can get from your crypto. You just have to deposit it and they will do everything else for you. I do have some money here through stable coins like DAI and USDT, so if you're on Yearn, you can just check this out at the same time if you want. Another lending protocol, which is way more popular than this though, is called Anchor, and it sits on the Terra protocol. In fact, Anchor is so big that I would say it nearly carries the entire Terra protocol in the Luna coin. As you can see here, they have a total value locked of nearly $10 billion. They have 6.7 billion in deposits and 1.6 billion worth of people borrowing money. So why is Anchor protocol so popular? Basically, if you click on the Earn tab here, you can see that they give an interest of 19.4% on UST, and UST is a stable coin, meaning it will always be pegged to US dollar. 1 UST will always equal to $1, meaning there's no risk of fluctuations in price. Of course, the USD can depeg, but again, that is a story for another day. So because of this great returns and relatively low risk, a lot of people put their money into Anchor. Like I said, $6.7 billion worth of deposits, which is very, very high. However, do note that because the deposits right now, so people deposit $6.7 billion, but there's only $1.6 billion worth of loans, which means that the yields are not very sustainable. But they do have a yield reserve of $501 million, meaning they will use this reserve to pay out people 20%. This is not fully sustainable, so if you guys want to learn more, you can always check out other videos on Anchor, or let us know if you want us to create a video down in the comments below. So yeah, that wraps up the lending portion. As a disclaimer, I do use Yearn Finance and Anchor both. I use it sort of like a savings account. There are some risks to it, but I feel comfortable and the returns are just too damn good to pass up. As always, do your own due diligence. At the end of the day, it's your money, so make sure that you know what you're doing with it. Alright, so the final method that you can use to farm some yield is by providing liquidity to decentralized exchanges or DEX. A DEX is basically a decentralized exchange. So think of something like a stock market or crypto market, except it's decentralized. So all those stuff like Huobi, Luno for crypto, or Interactive Brokers and Webull for stocks, they're all centralized exchanges, whereas these things, they're decentralized. There's no real company running it. It all runs on the blockchain by itself. How a centralized exchange like Huobi currently works is that it matches buyers and sellers. So buyers will put their ask price, sellers will put their bid price, and when it's matched, a transaction will happen. However, you need to create an account with them, you have to show your identity, you have to upload, your IC, your passport, and it can be quite a hassle. This is where decentralized exchanges come in, because using the Web3 interface, they allow you to swap cryptocurrencies without the need to show your identity or create an account. All you need is a wallet, and there are a lot more tokens on these platforms usually compared to a centralized exchange. So what a decentralized exchange needs is liquidity. Let's say they want to give the option for people to swap between Luna and UST. To enable this, they need a certain amount of Luna and a certain amount of UST, so that if someone wants Luna and they were willing to give UST, I can give you Luna and take UST, and I can do the same for the other way around as well. So because they need this liquidity, they will pay people to provide Luna and UST and put it into the pool, and there will also be a transaction fee that we will get. So to incentivize people to provide liquidity, they will give us an APY, and it can be very high depending on how badly they need it. It can be a little complex. I won't go so deep into this video, but let me show you some examples of how it will work. Again, I'm going to share my screen. So to show you guys this, I'll be using a platform called Osmosis. This is a DEX that sits on the Cosmos or Atom protocol. Don't worry though, because if you want to use something like Pancake Swap or Uniswap, it all works exactly the same. It's just that Osmosis has the best user interface, and I think it's much easier to show you guys using this. So this is the main page, the trade page, where people will, swap from Atom to Osmo or whatever else they want. This is not what we're doing today though. Today, we're going to be looking for liquidity pools. So these are all the incentivized pools out there. And like I said earlier, let's look for UST and Luna. All right, so we found it, Luna UST. Just click on the pool. And basically here, when you click add or remove liquidity, they will tell you they need to put 50% Luna and 50% UST. So right now, one Luna is around $51. So you would have to put one Luna and 50 UST to be able to add liquidity. Once you do this, all you have to do is just click start earning, and depending on how long you're willing to bond, you can get an APR of 22%, 36%, or up to 45%. Osmosis is one of the few DEXs that has an unbonding period. What this is basically to unstake or to unbond, you have to wait 7 days. You can't get your liquidity back immediately. Most other DEXs though, they don't have this option, so just do note of this. So you can see here that when people swap for Luna to UST or the other way around, there is a fee of 0.535%, and this will also be paid out to everyone who puts liquidity into this pool. You can go back to pool, and you can go back to all the other options that are there on this particular DEX, and you can choose which one you want based on your risk tolerance and your goal. Again, I would have to say that usually the ones with the higher APR is because the cryptocurrency is more volatile or more risky, and I would only recommend you doing this with a pair that you're very bullish on. So don't just buy some crypto and put it there because the APR looks high. It won't work out well for you. I'm currently not using Osmosis, but I am using this platform called Frankium. It is roughly the same as Osmosis, except it's leveraged. So I won't go too much into this, but if you guys are a bit more advanced, you understand what liquidity pools are, you can check out Frankium as well, because it is pretty cool. So yeah, there are many great options for us to yield farm through DeFi, and DeFi is a really cool new technology that I think will bring out a lot more opportunities. Some of the methods that I mentioned are riskier than others, so go according to your risk management strategy and make sure that you know what is going on before you put hard-earned money there. So DeFi gives all of these opportunities that has much better returns than stuff like fixed deposits. And the reason for that is because we're still very early, and as more and more people start to jump in, the yields will start to come down. So now is pretty much a very good time to enter. I don't know how long this will last for, but I'll just be going on the ride as long as it's there. You can already start seeing this, like I showed you guys on Yearn Finance earlier. A more popular blockchain like Ethereum has much lower yields than something smaller like Phantom. Always remember though that you should always do it with cryptos that you believe in anyway and you want to hold in your portfolio. Don't just simply buy a new cryptocurrency not knowing anything about it just because it gives you very high yields. Let us know down in the comments below which DeFi method is your favorite and which one are you most likely to start with. If you don't know how to buy and sell crypto, then check out our video on Huobi and how you can do it. And if you don't know how to set up a wallet or how to transfer from an exchange to a wallet, then check out that video. We'll link it down in the description below as well. That's it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed it, give us a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.